And we're live. Welcome to Tech Talk 40 with Barnacules, Nerdgasm, and Jay's 2 cents. Let's go ahead and kick her off with a little intro. Alright, well Jay here decided that tonight would be a good time to put me in the hot seat hosting the Tech Talk. Yeah, thanks Jay, thanks.
You know, I figured since you've getting to be on everyone else's live streams, it might as well give you a new appreciation for what goes into it.
I genuinely have a new appreciation for it now. This is a pain in the ass.
And for anyone who may be thinking, oh, you know, whatever, you guys should have tested it. We did test it yesterday.
We did. We're live. Welcome to Tech Talk 40 with Barnacules, Nerdgasm, and Jay's 2 cents.
I gotta find out where the hell it is.
Let's go ahead and kick her off with a little intro. I give up. All right.
Streaming's easy.
Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. All right, I killed it. God, it's so hard to find windows when you have like 9-foot wall of screens. Oh my God. Yeah, no, this is how it goes, guys, when it's planned. It's like we spent like an hour setting this up, wrote like 3 pages of notes. This is a professional operation here, and yeah, it's just last minute. You're like, oh my God, this isn't working. Got to plug that in. Oh my God, the camera's not working. Jay can't even see me right now. Like Jay's just flying blind.
I'm flying blind, and I at least have the courtesy of making sure I have a second camera that works for you, so that we can interact.
Jay, I tried.
Now, if you have any visuals. If you have any visuals you want me to see, I'm not going to see them.
I'll just describe them to you, okay? When we're doing, I'll be like, okay, Jay, what I'm doing right now is I'm touching myself inappropriately. I'll do that, and then you can visualize that, and it'll go along with the show. Yeah. So I think I appropriately named tonight's Tech Talk perfectly, though. Show number 40, Barnacules is hosting #facepalm. Just because this is exactly how it's going. Now, at least on the plus side, though, we are broadcasting at 720p on my minuscule, itty-bitty little internet connection, and somehow we haven't managed to drop a frame, so oh my God, fingers crossed. And I should probably pull up the stream so I can see what peoples are saying.
Yeah, everyone's saying, loud noises! Because your mic is actually very, 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 very loud on the stream.
Is it really? Here, I'll just back it off. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, you know what's funny?
What?
In Skype, you're not clipping in Skype, but you are in the stream.
I'm clipping in the stream, but I'm not clipping in Skype. Am I still clipping?
Just go into guys. You're now hearing live tech help.
Hey, I know how to do it, Jay. I know it. Just give me a second, all right? Come on.
Just go into XSplit and pull it down in there.
Here, you just calm your tits, Jay. I got this, all right? I got this, bro.
Sure, sure.
Watch this. You ready? You're about to witness my awesomeness. All right. How's that? Is that better? That should be a lot better.
Same to me in Skype, but you're going to be different in XSplit, so I can't tell you.
Well, the gain in XSplit went down. Like the little bar now is only going up about a little over halfway.
Okay, well, that's good.
We'll just have to see what the people say. If they say I still sound like crap, then I'm trying to use a Zoom H4n as my audio interface right now, and it's failing me. It's
Guys,
failing
listen up. I want to address the stream real quick. Everybody, the incredible mic noises that you're hearing are not the fault of the microphone Jerry's using on these Sennheiser headphones. No. Tell them why they're hearing what they're hearing, because obviously mine sounds different than yours.
You are hearing what you're hearing because of this. It's a Zoom H4n that refuses to turn the mic level down. It's stuck at 80. See, the button works. It's just not going down. So because of that, I am feeding a hell of a lot of power through this microphone right now.
Yeah. That's why Jerry's clipping, yet he and I have the exact same headphones on.
But what I don't understand is why is it you can hear me perfectly on Skype with no clipping?
I don't know, because Skype is retarded.
Are they still saying I sound bad on there?
I don't know. Remember, it's still delayed.
Is it delayed?
Wait, let's see. Don't say anything. It's better, but it's still getting some Zoom clipping in there. The clipping that you're hearing, guys, that's the Zoom doing it, not the headphones.
I'll just move the mic way out here. Here we go. All right, how's that, guys?
Just put it like on the floor by your feet.
Just do it here. There we go. Hey, what's going on, guys? Is that better? Here, can it be a throat mic, maybe? Hey, what's going on, guys?
It actually sounds pretty good.
Oh, all right, so this is officially a throat mic now. Actually, that sounds a lot better in my headset. And here we are. Welcome to Tech Talk, where I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, well, welcome to the club. No, I'm watching right now the playback on the Zoom, and I like how if you make a pin drop, it clips on the meter.
Bing.
Okay. People are saying it's fixed now. So.
Okay, so at least I'm tolerable now, I guess.
My face is too bright. Hey guys, I have a suggestion for you. Shut up, and we have a little bit of a tech talk here and start complaining about noise levels and light levels. How's that? Let's try that on for once.
This is what we do. This is seriously like what we do.
Shut up!
Oh my god. All right.
Yeah.
Where's my live event? I'm trying to open it so I can see what's going on.
What
there
the
it is.
hell
I got
I'm
it. Yay! I can see a chat now. Woohoo! All right. I think we got this thing rolling. All right, Jay. Should we just jump into some topics before we just get scared and run away?
The one driving, so.
Yeah, okay, I guess I'm driving. I got to get used to that. See, guys, Jay knows that I like to be on everybody else's show. That's what I do. I run around. I'm like this little homeless guy that just goes around and I'm on everybody else's show. And Jay is now editing our live document to say, Tech Talk, this is a train wreck, and it's awesome. SOEM. I love it. I love it.
Wait, I'll fix that. There we go.
All right, so that's very, very nice. SUM, awesome. Okay, so first topic, of course, why is Barnacules hosting? I think you guys get the gist of it. I'm hosting because Jay wanted to punish me. Jay was like, that little shithead keeps coming on my show that I spend all my time setting this all up for and takes me for granted. And he was right, and now I feel his pain, and I'm sorry, Jay.
It's not that. It's
I'm
that.
sorry,
Jay. Just that every single week I'm like, hey, can you be on by like maybe a quarter after, maybe 20 after 5 for setup? And you're like, yeah, sure. 5:48. I'm like, Jerry, can you please get on so I can set up? And you're like, just calm your tits, Jay. It's just life. Smart. Meanwhile, I'll be on PKA. I'll be on WAN show every other week.
Oh, come on. Come on. Why do you got to be all butthurt about that? Oh.
Not, I want you to understand the amount of work that goes into this.
I do now.
It matter. It doesn't matter how much setup time you put into it. Inevitably, it's all going to come crashing down in the end.
I know. I'm sorry, Jay. I am very, very sorry. Do you still lovers me?
You know what? I love the fact that this is a train wreck because I don't like when things go smooth because there's no comedic factor to everything working.
That's true. If shit works, I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, that would imply we knew what we were doing, and nobody wants to watch that, right? It's all about the drama.
WAN show.
So, guys, it looks like we have 617 people watching right now. For some reason, that number's more scary when I'm hosting. When you're hosting, I don't care if it's like 10,000. I'm like, yeah, whatevs.
Because you look at that and go, there's potentially 600 people that could unsub right now.
Oh, God, don't tell me that. Now I'm all scared.
Can I introduce my channel real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
598 of them have no idea who I am.
Well, Jay, they don't know who you are because you still have the biggest branding below your face on the stream, if you didn't notice. Tech Talk with Jay's 2 cents.
Nerdgasm.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell them what you're all about.
Guys, my name is Jay's 2 cents. I am a tech addict, mostly a PC addict, and if you can kind of see behind me, I like to review a lot of product and stuff. And
you're a whore.
I build computers, and I do some really, really bad humor in the middle of it all. Jerry bugged the shit out of me one day to be my friend, so I accepted his friendship. And now that asshole passed me up by 40,000 subs, and now I'm like, Jerry, wait for me. That's me in a nutshell.
Oh, Jay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pass you up. It's just those Chinese bots work so much better when you give them an extra couple bucks on PayPal.
Look, slow and steady wins the race.
This is true.
It actually worked, but still.
This is true. This is absolutely true. And one thing that you need to know about Jay is that he's a funny guy, but he's meticulous in his builds. If you go over to his channel after this, check out the Red Mist build. He's like bending like hard acrylic pipe using a heat gun to make it look like almost not steampunkish, but still that same kind of hard angle bends and stuff. Shit that I honestly don't have the patience for that. Like if I ever do a build for you guys, it's going to be like garden hose cut and duct taped together with like, some other hose and I'll come up this short, so I'll just stretch it and bend it and put a kink in it and shit so it'll work. That's how I build computers.
But that would be an amazing garden themed build.
It would be, dude. I could just put a chia pet in the bottom and it'd be good to go.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, Tech Talk is normally over on my channel where Jerry joins me every single week, and it's a lot of fun. Jerry and I are good friends. We give each other shit all the time about sub counts and views and botnets and stuff like that. Yeah. But he and I honestly are good pals, and we only give each other a hard time because we like each other. If I didn't like Jerry, I'd just be like, whatever.
Like, whatever. No, Jay's one of the few people. I let him give me shit, and I actually don't like pay people to go try to kill him. Because when you're this big on YouTube, you just you call Craigslist, and they're just like on it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I am mindful of the danger zone that I am in. People want to know what the Allo wrench is for. I kind of want to try to do something every week. Remember last week I did the live bending of acrylic tube? I bent my rod live for you guys.
He did. He made a crack pipe.
The week before we made a crack pipe. So, yeah, people are already talking about that. So, this week, because you guys know one of the pumps that we got for Red Mist was bad, I think somewhere in the middle of the show I'll do just kind of a little tech segment where we're going to actually repair the pump. We have a replacement pump here. We have the old pump. I'll show you guys how I'm going to repair this and also show you firsthand why you never run your pump dry. Because I can tell you why, but if you actually see why, I think it'll make more sense. So look for that later in the stream. If you're watching this in the playback, click somewhere in the middle. We'll try and annotate the time. But anyway.
Yeah,
anyway.
it's really not good to do anything dry, Jay. I mean, just strictly speaking.
That's just like a consideration thing.
It really is. It is. You should always spit on your pump before you fire it up the first time.
Okay. You're supposed to spit on your rod.
Can you call what is it? Can you call Aqua Tuning and tell them about that? Can they put that in the instructions? It's like open up the port on the top of the pump and just hawk a loogie in there first. Give it a courtesy spit before you fire it up.
Let's spit on your tube.
All right, Jay. We're gonna get some topics going because we have a lot of topics tonight. Because somehow the ADHD was like flying on me, and you guys were like throwing topics at me. So I somehow created a 3-page document in about 15 minutes that has a bunch of random stuff that hopefully I'll be able to piece back together. But we're going to kick this thing off with the hottest thing that's going on right now, and that is the FCC voted in favor of net neutrality, which is awesome, except there's a caveat, and that is they didn't really vote for net neutrality. All they did is they said, oh, yeah, no, we're all for net neutrality, but we're just going to create this other thing and name it Fast Lane, which is exactly the fucking same thing.
Yeah.
And
well, it's because the FCC can't make it look like, oh, we gave in to the public.
Oh, exactly. But it's still. I read it. I haven't read I haven't read the actual like full law legal text, like the 400 pages, like of legal mumbo jumbo. But the synopsis that I did read on it from the New York Times article was that they're basically saying, okay, no, we're all for net neutrality. You shouldn't be able to pay to have to pay to keep your bandwidth or keep a high bandwidth. But it's okay if you pay more to get a special fast lane. Where do you think the bandwidth from that fast lane comes from?
Your provider.
It comes from the damn provider. It's the same fucking thing. It's like, oh my god. My analogy for this was like, we're gonna let people drive in the HOV lane. Like we're not gonna charge people to drive in the HOV lane, right? That's fine. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna close down one of the other non-HOV lanes and turn that into a fast lane, which still chokes everybody over to the HOV lane. And now that's the better, faster one.
Jerry, do you want to hear the sad part about that?
Yes,
That's exactly what they're doing here in Southern California. They're taking lanes that currently exist on the freeway, putting barriers on them, and then charging you a fee to go in there as a toll lane.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
This is the dumbest fucking thing ever. So I hope people are smart enough to realize that they're not like, yay, net neutrality, and they're just going to let this other fucking thing just slip by.
Did you notice the fine print in there where the FCC says that they won't allow the provider to throttle you lower than your current maximum bitrate?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, if I have a 50 megabit connection, or let's say the average person, they're on a 20 meg connection.
Yeah.
And that means the FCC, or not the FCC, but the provider cannot say we will not stream Netflix to you slower than the speed at which you pay for. So what's the difference of just having it be open? If the only thing limiting the amount of speed at which you can get something is the current connection you pay for, that negates the entire idea of a fast lane because you're not going to get more than you pay for.
Well, it does for now. It does for now, but that's the problem is if you think into the future as bandwidth keeps getting more and more and more, eventually they're going to start the fast lane is going to start eating up the other, more of that new bandwidth that comes in. You'll still get your 50 megabit, but what if 10 years from now 50 megabits like slow poor people connection? It's like all that other bandwidth is going to be utilized somewhere else. Then you're going to go get. But I guess if you get a guaranteed, gigabit connection, then they have to give you the guaranteed gigabit. But I guarantee there's going to be some little thing that happens where the ISPs are basically going to come at you and say, okay, we're no longer going to guarantee that you get any megabit cap. It's just going to be you get what you get, and then that's where this is going to end up smashing everybody.
Yeah. So. I don't know. I mean, this is such a... I hate to sound like we're harping on this every single week, but guys, this is a big deal because you're watching us on a service right now, YouTube, that is actually one of the biggest hogs of the internet currently, besides Netflix and a few other streaming services. YouTube is one of the things that could potentially be affected by this in the end. So we all have to be concerned about this, regardless of where you live.
I completely agree. But at any rate, it's a total bullshit move. It's just their attempt at saying net neutrality is good. You guys are safe. Everybody grab a blanket. It's fine. Snuggle up to the fire. No, they're just trying to do an end run around everybody and do the same exact shit and just call it something else.
I just want to point out real quick, guys. I've been doing like triple duty. I just literally got the A-OK from one of our clients that our code release was good. I've actually been working and doing code review right now while streaming up until this very point, Jerry.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah, the code release started at 5 p.m. We actually ran into a few snags, and I was QAing it as well as doing code review and re-release right now the entire time we've been streaming.
Wow! And how's the code look? Is it fantabulous?
I just got the UAT, the user acceptance. That said, code is good. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, crap, because I can't postpone the stream. That guy's working. This is my day job. So, yeah. Anyway.
Oh man, I'm just over here. I'm just reading some of the comments. Everybody's like, "Turn the volume. Turn down the volume." What? You turn down your volume. You turn it down.
I think I have to say, all in all, things are going pretty incredibly smooth considering it's your first live stream. And guys, you have to admit, Jerry's connection's holding up fine. People were already predicting a crash and burn.
I was predicting a crash and burn, Jay. I mean, I've only got 2 megabit up, and right now I haven't dropped a single frame. That is mind-blowing.
What is your up show on right now in XSplit?
Let's see. I am uploading it about 1,200, 1.2, 1.3.
Yeah,
it's not bad at all. I've got plenty to spare.
Told you weren't going to exceed 1.5.
Yeah, I bet you I could just go download stuff right now. Here, let me go fire up the whole porn torrent tracker and see.
Why is somebody writing in binary code?
Let's see, 0010010000000000000. I think that means hello, Barnacules.
Oh yeah, this says we love Jerry.
We love Jerry. That's what it says. Oh, and somebody thinks I'm sexy. Wonderful.
Jay, can you see the SoCal fires? I can see the smoke and I can smell it. That's for sure.
Can you really?
Yeah.
That sucks, dude. I hate fire. That's why I live in Washington. We can't have fire here because it's too wet.
It's too wet. I said that earlier, though, when everyone was complaining about all the rain and all the snow they were getting back east. I said, look, we're in our second year of a record-breaking drought. We're going to have fires this season. Didn't I say that a few weeks back?
You did.
Here we are now. We've already got 8 different fires burning right now in Southern California.
That's California for you. Well, all right. So now that we got the net neutrality out of the way, let's talk about the other big, awesome thing. I am incredibly excited about this next one, Jay. I really am. I am genuinely. This is the most exciting piece of technology. It even beats out the Oculus Rift, and I can't. And I'm just beside myself that I can actually go out and buy one of these right now. And that would be Google Glass. And that was all complete bullshit. What I just said.
Can I interrupt for a sec?
Absolutely.
We failed to mention why we're wearing these headphones because people were asking what they are.
Oh, well, why don't you tell them, Jay?
These are actually the Sennheiser Game Zero headphones. I did an overview of these at CES back in January. If you guys remember, and if you don't, you can check it out later after the show. Jerry and I were both sent these. We're going to be doing reviews on them, and I think it's going to be worthwhile to watch both of our reviews because Jerry and I are both going to be heading into these reviews with 2 completely different mindsets.
Yeah.
Jerry is an audio. Okay, Jerry likes audio. I won't call you an audiophile.
I'm not an audiophile.
Jerry likes audio, and he likes all the different kinds of sounds that headphones give. So, and he's got the amps to go with it. He's got what it takes to kind of really compare these to other headphones that are in the same price range. I don't. On the other hand, I come into it usually sub $100 headphones, and I found myself in a position to where I actually wasn't able to use these right off the bat, and I'll be explaining that. But yeah, these are the Game Zeros. They're a gaming headset, so they've got Sennheiser quality cans with I'd say a decent mic. I mean, it is what it is, right? I think it's all the technology.
It's really hard. I mean, without having a powered condenser mic, it's really hard. You're not going to compete with like an A2020 or something like that. You're just not.
Yeti.
Or a Yeti. Anything that's powered. I mean,
yeah.
Technically, these are powered, but they're very, very low power.
But guys, look at how low profile they are. Would you agree that they're super light and comfortable?
No, absolutely. These are probably more comfortable than my AKGs, and I really love those. Surprised the hell out of me, actually.
Yeah.
These ones right here, the 612s. These things are remarkably comfortable, but and I would say they're even more comfortable than my HD 800s. But these are actually really comfortable because they got the foam, a really nice foam pad up here that sits on your head. You almost don't even know it's there. I really like that they don't feel flimsy at all either. A lot of my headphones, including the AKGs, they kind of creak and pop a little bit and make noise. These feel like they're a lot more solid.
People say they look like flashlights up here. Those are actually metal hinges, guys, because these things do fold up flat so that you can put them away and store them or carry them.
They're laser beams, Jay. They're laser beams.
Anyway, yeah, we just figured since we both got the same review product like the exact same day, we're like, hey, we should just kind of wear them on the stream. So
yeah, I personally think the Sennheiser sent them to me because they got sick of watching me abuse the HD800s all the time. They were always on my Instagram when I put them on my head and stretch them out. They're like, please stop. They're like, just take these headphones, leave those HD800s alone.
Yeah,
that cracked me up. Oh my god.
So Jerry's in love with Google Glass.
I fucking hate it. Okay, so guys, Google Glass. This is okay. So let me see if I can figure out a good place to start here. First of all, Google Glass is just weird. I want to ask you guys all a question, and we'll look at the comments here a little bit later on. But seriously, if somebody was wearing, you were at a party or something like that, and you saw somebody wearing Google Glass, would you change how you interacted with that person, or would you try to avoid that person, or would you just think, oh, it's no big deal. I'm gonna hang out with this person that every single thing I'm saying to their face is being recorded all the time.
Or you could just be like that lady who wore them to the bar and got her ass kicked live.
Yeah, or wasn't there like one with a cop too? I thought I read some article about a cop or something went in and like busted up like a bar fight or something. And not the guy that got beat, but the guy was wearing Google Glass and he recorded the whole thing and uploaded it to the internet.
I think that's possible, but I just keep thinking about the lady who wore it to the bar, and then she started getting berated by the people at the bar, like, oh, you're invading our privacy and stuff, and she actually got beat up while wearing glass, and it was like first-person view of getting an ass whooping.
That is awesome. I'm going to go watch that. Okay, so that's points for Google Glass, not against it. But in a nutshell, the thing that I really don't like about it is, one, Google's selling it, but they're still selling it for $1,500. Anybody can buy it, but you got to pay $1,500. But what pisses me off is there's only $152 of materials in the build. I understand R&D markup. I understand that there has to be a margin there for them to make a profit off of it, but $1,500?
I thought I read an article that said 88, but either way, it's an astronomical points markup.
Absolutely ridiculous. Well, I read the article that I read was on CNET, and they were talking about, or sorry, no, it was the Huffington Post that posted the article that said that a third-party company that's well known for tearing down electronics and figuring out their value said that the total cost of parts inside was $152.47.
Yeah, so you're talking 10-time markup.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely insane markup. And then they're trying to seed the market too, because I don't think that people are showing as much interest in it at $1,500. So now they're doing stuff like, trying to get schools on board. Like they basically handed out Google Glass to every student at UC Irvine, a medical college. They're like, here, everybody have Google Glass, and you guys can all walk around and use it with your studies, and we're just going to use it as one big walking advertisement about how cool this is. And I'm not saying that it's not bad for that application. I think in an educational space that would be really big, because as a student you could record what you're doing, and then once you finally do become a surgeon, you can record your malpractice video and have it work against you in the court of law. But it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I still don't think people are going to get used to it. I think it's really strange. Like with a cell phone, if somebody's recording you, because they kind of have that look like this. It's like, oh, there's a camera pointed in my general direction. They don't look like they're being natural. There's a camera pointed at my face. So Google Glass, it's all, somebody stares at you, you're like, holy shit, stop recording me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be...
Someone's saying CNETs is $80. Yeah, the bottom line, guys, it's extremely marked up. But you know what though, Jerry? I mean, they already record surgeries. It's just not first person usually. Usually you get either, like if it's a laparoscopic surgery, you have a camera built in because that's what the doctor's using to manipulate the probes. But usually it's not first person. Like you're going to be able to see if the doctor wipes his ass and then immediately goes back into your body. But
I guess that's true. Yeah, he reaches back and like hand goes down the back of the pants. You see him digging for a little while, and then he's like, "Oop."
All right, but you'll get to see. You could be able to see exactly when they accidentally leave the probe or the ruler inside of you. Have you heard about that? Oh, you know what? Perfect example. If you talk about capturing malpractice suits, my dad had an abdominal surgery, and he actually went 10 years with this horrible abdominal pain. He went to the doctor, and they finally started digging around, and they actually found a metal rod left inside of him.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh my god. And I guess that's fairly common, because I used to watch a lot of TV shows where they talk about people like they've had crazy cases where like a dude had forceps in him for years.
My dad,
how do you lose forceps?
My dad, for the longest time, every time he flew, it set off the metal detectors, and we never understood why. I'm not even kidding.
I'd love to explain that story. Be like, oh yeah, no, my doctor just left some shit in there. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, I know it's right around in this area. Just run your little bar over that. It'll confirm it.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. I mean, I had gastric bypass. I set off the detectors every time I go through. The new full body scanners.
Yeah.
I told you I don't go through them anymore, and I think I told you why, didn't I? Because every time I go through them, it sends off it shows a silhouette of a person, and it kind of puts a yellow dot where they find substances or something check. Mine always has one that goes off like right underneath my man tit, and so they're always like, "Sir, we need you to step aside," and they wand me and do everything anyway. So that's why I bypass them now. I'm like, you're gonna find there's metal in my body, so
yeah, the backscatter machines. Luckily, I haven't had to go through one yet. Apparently, I don't look suspicious enough at the airport. They always wave me through. It's always the person in front of me or behind me that ends up going through backscatter.
Oh, really? Every airport I've been to that has it, you're going through it, no matter.
Oh no! Here in well, at least last time I flew here in Seattle, no, there's a line and they basically just randomly select people to go through the backscatter machine, and then the rest of the people just go through the metal detector.
Nope, LAX, everyone goes through. You're getting a baton to the back of the knee.
And the best thing is you go through when you go through the little metal detector, they run the wand over you. And I've gone through that thing before where it's been 3 or 4 passes before I finally rid myself of all the metal and I could go through. And I'm like, you'd think after like pass 2 they'd be like, something's fucking wrong here. Let's just strip this guy down and put fingers in him. But they didn't go that far. They caught. Oh, here, let's do it again. Oh, we found another piece. Okay, empty out your pockets. Oh shit, I forgot. There's metal in my shoe. Take your shoes off. You're not supposed to walk through with your shoes on. It's funny because I just get so frustrated when I'm at the airport that I forget every little thing the second that I get there. It's like I have that guilty look on my face. I swear I look like a terrorist when I go to the airport because like as soon as I walk up there with all my electronics and stuff, and I got a huge line of people queuing behind me trying to get on there, I panic, dude. I seriously look like, I mean, if I was a TSA agent, I'd be the guy that I would just tase me and just be like, I think I can explain it from the video footage that this guy looks suspicious.
I can see it now. You go through, boop, boop. Guys, I can explain. And you hear the pop. You're on the ground, rivaling in pain, flopping around like a fish.
Exactly. Well, I'd be...
Someone says I have diabetes.
Diabetes? Beatus. Everybody thinks I have diabetes, but
my blood sugar is perfect. It's in the high 80s, and my A1C is like what, 2? So
yeah, I just got
blood sugar's perfect.
I get 2 physicals a year, and my physicals always say don't change diet or exercise because everything's
just
perfect.
Keep eating them burgers, Jerry.
They're like, yeah, just be fat. You're good fat. You're good at being fat. Keep being fat.
There's 722 people in here live. Guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please hit that unsub button and let's go ahead. No,
you fucker, don't you dare. Hit that like button. Yeah, I like the like button. Yeah. So back to Google Glass. If you guys don't pay $1,500 for these things, obviously as soon as Google realizes that nobody wants to buy them and they have like 10,000 boxes of them stored up in warehouse, they'll be on Amazon for like $35.50. So
but is it open to the public?
What?
Is it open to the public yet?
Yes, anybody can get them. Absolutely anybody can buy them.
I thought it was still in like an invitation program. Wow, okay.
No, it was for like a couple of weeks, but Google just announced today that anybody can get them, but they're just not lowering the price. It's $1,500. And I think what the problem is they thought that they were going to be all like exclusive and be like, oh, only couple hundred people can get these, and like a couple hundred people didn't even show up, and they're like, oh crap, we better just open it up to everybody so we can push this inventory out before it becomes the next kin.
Well, I think it's because so many people immediately upon, like you said, walking into a room wearing those, people were like, haha, hey, what, hey, oh, hi, and then nobody wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, could you imagine being at the bar and somebody walks in, you're like, oh yeah, fuck.
I'm going to assume you're doing something funny on camera because I can't see.
I was doing something funny there. I was trying. I was making a funny face. Sorry, I forgot to narrate it for it. Okay, I leaned back and I kind of shook my head a little bit and I kind of made my eyes look like a drunk person. I was like, ah! Yeah, that's what I did, Jay. But anyways, it's stupid. Good one. See? Yeah, you visualized it.
I did.
But anyways, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And then could you imagine like forgetting to take them off? I forget to take my sunglasses off. Like you ever do this? You walk around with your sunglasses and you're like, oh my god! You walk out in the sun. You're like, where's my sunglasses at? And then you're like, oh, they're on my face because you just get used to them. I think that's going to happen with Google Glass, and you're going to walk into a bathroom, stand next to some big dude at a stall, and like he's going to look over and be like, you're wearing your Google Glass, looking at your pecker, and he's going to like knock you out.
You're going to look over towards him, and then he's going to knock you out.
Yeah, I know. He'd be like, hey, look over to him and be like, hey, what's up, bro? Not that guys do that, like, unless they're drunk. If they're drunk, they kind of do that. But walking to be like, hey, what's up, bro? And you're like recording them standing in front of the pisser. Yeah, you're not walking out of there without a bloody nose. For damn sure.
Yeah. We already get enough Instagrams and selfies of you in the bathroom. We don't need video, too.
This is true. This is very, very true. But anyways, Google Glass, that's, guys, I don't get it. $1,500. Anyways, if you're, I've talked to a lot of people that think that it's awesome, and they're like, oh man, this is going to be like the next generation. Yeah, maybe of reality TV.
I can see where it's cool, but when Google's own headquarters banned Google Glass in the office a year and a half ago, you knew something was. I mean, obviously there was going to be something going on with them when it comes to just people feeling a bit sketchy around them.
Boop.
I'm watching your live stream now.
I'm just sitting here playing with the chat. People are giving me a hard time saying, "Don't yell, don't do this, don't do that." Well, don't watch the stream if you hate it.
I just feel bad for Sennheiser because this was meant to be like, hey guys, check it out, a fun, cool headset to use now that has a decent quality mic, and yet here's your Zoom, a completely separate product, just tearing them up.
That's the problem. It's like I need to hook up the front little panel on my computer so that I can run the mic through the sound card, because the Zoom H4n should have worked, but I need to send mail to them because there's like a firmware bug. It won't. Normally you can lower the mic level just like you can on the sound card, but this one won't let you lower the level.
I've got a Zoom on the camera back there. I can raise it and lower it all I want.
Yeah, and according to the volume meter in XSplit, I'm not even hitting as high a volume as you are when you're talking, which is odd.
GFX Crown says, Jay, I know you can't see Jerry, so I think you should know Jerry's been shoving his ass in the camera for about 15 minutes. Guys, I'm watching the stream. It's just a...
Any opportunity these guys got to troll me, I'll just tell you what, Jay, they always be trying to troll me and make me look bad to the interwebs people.
Kenneth Shaw says, why don't they get Google Glass without the camera? Well, that was like sort of the initial point of Glass.
I mean, I guess it was
to be a POV Android device.
But here's the thing. Okay, well, let's entertain that for a second, Jay. Let's entertain that and say, okay, Google comes out with a version that doesn't have a camera on it. Everybody from 5 feet away is still going to, unless they completely redesign it and make it look different, they're just going to assume there's a camera on it.
Yeah.
They just will. I mean, there's no way around it. Everybody's been exposed to it with the viral media and everything. They're going to look at you, and anybody that has glasses that has, some kind of, asymmetric thing going on one side versus the other, they're just going to assume it's a camera.
Yeah, I mean, they've already sailed that ship. There's no going back. Everyone's going to assume Google Glass is a spy device.
You know what I would like to do, though? I would like to get a fake pair. Maybe I'll 3D print a pair. I found the plans up on Thingiverse. But I want to 3D print a pair of fake glass and just walk in places with it on and try to have normal conversations with people and see what they do. I want to see if they make eye contact. I want to see if they just walk away. I want to see if they completely act weird. It'd be cool.
I don't get, though, what the point of that would be, because if something funny did happen, you wouldn't be recording it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You're like, haha, you thought I was recording, but I'm not.
But I'm not, and I can't prove to anybody anything now. I've accomplished nothing. I'm going home.
I've made no point today, good sir. I bid you good day.
Kevin asked, thanks for using YouTube stream. Twitch TV is a lot slower. Yeah, Twitch is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It is. Twitch is an absolute piece of garbage.
I love the comments of people are like, holy shit, there's so many more viewers here than when it's on Jay's channel. Wait, Jerry's got 40,000 more subs than I do. So
proportionally, it's about the same, though. I mean, you got 70,000, and we pull about 500 usually.
Yeah, we pull about 500.
Yeah, no, and plus, this is the first time I've ever done this on my channel, so a lot of people that don't follow me on Twitter and Facebook, for you guys that aren't on Twitter, I think I've got 9,000 followers or something like that. I'm hugely interactive on Twitter. So if you guys want to come over and follow me on Twitter, and tweet at me, knock yourselves out. I like it. Whenever I'm sitting on the toilet or I'm laying in bed at night, I mean, I'm usually on Twitter going, ha 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 ha.
And I have significantly less followers on Twitter, like 7,000 people, but I don't know. You get different types of tweets, though. People want to just kind of be silly and interact with you. People are like, hey, Jay, I have $1,563.02 to spend. I want you to put together a build for me that utilizes all but 1 penny of it, and I want it by tonight. Yeah. And it must be a black-blue themed, and it has to be UK pricing, and I need it now.
Oh no, I get some good ones too. I like the emails. I get these very lengthy emails that are like, I'm poor and my whole family's dead, and can you just give me your computer and go build a bigger, better one for yourself? Thank you. It's like, come on, and it's amazing how many I get. It's not even like a few. It's like the majority are people saying this. Oh wait, somebody just said something in chat. I want to see. Oh, it's Nathan's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Nathan.
Happy
birthday to Nathan.
Happy birthday to you tomorrow.
Get to the job.
All right. So, Jerry, does deleting your data really delete your data?
No, it doesn't. I've got some cool stories about this. By cool, I mean absolutely creepy. And I will have to mask all the names of the parties involved. No, I'm just kidding.
This is going to be from when you were working as a tech, right?
Yeah, maybe. Not necessarily at the place everybody knew I worked at, but it's just, it places. But anyways, This is why everybody always asks me like why I don't sell my hard drives. Honestly, because I'm always like, yeah, I'm upgrading to hard drive. They're like, why did you destroy it with a hammer? It was a working hard drive. Why would you do that? I'll tell you why. Because one, that when you delete data or format your drive, you're not deleting the data. You're not formatting the drive unless you do something called a low-level format, which is very, very aggressive. And I don't even trust low-level formats half the time, because unless you can prove that they completed and the program did exactly what it said it was doing, you're still screwed. The way that format and delete generally works is it deletes your file from something called the file allocation table, or otherwise known as FAT. A lot of people are familiar with that. It's like what I am. But anyways, they also have NTFS. They have all kinds of different file systems that they use, exFAT and stuff like that. But anyways, it just deletes the record of that file's existence so that something else can override it. It doesn't delete the file itself. So anytime that you sell a hard drive or you take your computer in to be serviced, you might want to make sure that you low-level the format the hell out of everything, or at least run a program that does something called a strong delete. There's a couple programs out there that what they'll do is they'll actually go delete the record of the file, and then they'll go to the place on the disk where the file was and literally just write a series of zeros over and over and over again to cover up the magnetic signature. Because you can go get all kinds of free programs that you can run that will scan every sector of a hard drive and pull stuff off of it, and the things that I've seen off of people's hard drives are pretty scary. Yeah. like you can tell that they had no freaking idea that they forgot to delete that. I mean, people that you would never even in a million years suspect of having certain things on their hard drive, whoop, there it is. So I'm just telling you guys.
They're human after all.
It's true. It's true. So guys, if you're ever going to sell a hard drive, make sure you do, at the very least, do a low-level format. And they take a long time to run. If the format finishes in a couple of minutes, that wasn't low-level. It should be literally like an hour or two, depending on the size of the drive, because you want it to overwrite each sector multiple times. Or if you had sensitive data on there and things that you don't ever want another human being to ever be able to see, then you might want to take a hammer to that sumbitch and just completely just wreck it, like beyond recognition. So
yeah, I mean, well, haven't you seen those special hard drives that you can buy that actually have a self-destruct button, like it's physically a button attached to it? Have you seen those?
No, I haven't actually.
Like back when I first started my channel, I used to do a show called Tech Addiction, which was like a weekly, tech news thing, but it turned into a live stream. So TechTalk is kind of like Tech Addiction now. But I covered a story that was about it was like the kind of hard drives that they use for the CIA and things, and it literally has wires coming out of it and a button. And when you push the button, it will actually melt all of the chips inside of the hard drive.
That's actually pretty awesome. That's like
it's very Mission Impossible.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool. That'd be neat if all the hard drives came with like a little like a little gunpowder pack inside of them, like an airbag. You just go in, you activate the command, it just goes poof. Yeah. And it's gone. It's gone. But if you guys are wondering, that's why I destroy my hard drives. I've actually got a lot of people that have asked me why I destroy my hard drives, because I did a video on it a long time ago where I was just taking a hammer to them, and they're like, but they still worked. I mean, they were small drives. But the answer is, I have no idea what was on those drives. It could have been anything. It could have been like my my home videos, if you will. It could have been my tax information. It could have been my social security. It could have been anything. And I don't have a good enough memory to say I know exactly what was on every single drive at any point in time. So it's just safer for me just to annihilate them. And usually they're near end of life anyways.
Right. Well, and that brings up another good point, though, is a lot of people will sell their parts when they're done with them. You see it all the time, SSDs for sale up on like OC.net and stuff like that. Yep. And you got to understand, guys, unless you went in and did some of the extreme formatting that Jerry's talking about, chances are if the person on the other end is savvy and was just bored, they could pull whatever you had on that drive back up. And it's just, I don't sell hard drives. I'll sell motherboards, processors, graphics cards, but I will not sell hard drives. That's why if I open my closet, you'll see I've got like 10 mechanical drives sitting in there.
But the same thing applies for like laptops. A lot of people resell laptops, and when you're reselling a laptop, all the person has to do that got the laptop was boot off of like the ultimate boot disk and run a sector by sector scan, and they can recover not all the files, because you got to realize when you delete a file off the hard drive and it frees up the space, eventually something else can overwrite that file. But it's all those files that just because you don't know it all. It's all based on optimizations and how the drive's laid out and how the file system decides to write things to the disk. But something that you want may not be annihilated, which also leads to another point. If you've ever lost data before, so if you've ever accidentally deleted something, let's say you threw something in the recycling bin and then you said empty recycling bin, you're like, oh my god, why did I do that? Immediately go download a program to recover the to recover the data. There's a bunch of free ones out there. Honestly, I'm drawing a blank. There's one I think it's called PC Recover or something like that. But you want to find a sector by sector recovery program. There's lots of free ones, and just use that. You'll get your data right back. But the reason why I tell people this is because I know a lot of friends that actually currently even work at stores like the Geek Squad. The other one Staples does, and when they take in computers and stuff like that, you don't know if the person's going to go back there and just put a thumb drive into it and then scan and see what you had on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't trust anybody with my computers that way because it's so easy to recover the data if you don't know about this. So please spread it to your family and friends. If they're selling a laptop, make sure and there's donkeys and compromised positions on it or whatever. Low level format the hell out of the thing before you sell it, or at least just pull the hard drive out, destroy it, and put another hard drive in it for like another $100 and call it good.
That's the only way to be absolutely secure about it.
It's true. It's true. Let's see here.
Oh no! Look at the time. Do you think we should do our little tech segment?
Yeah, go for it. Let's see how to rebuild this pump, boss.
All right. Well, not only are we going to just switch. It's pretty much just switching the top. If you guys followed my channel and you've seen Red Mist, you'll know it's a $6,000 computer that I'm building for a customer. And one of the pumps, we have two of these D5 EK pumps, and the pump unfortunately has a click or a rattle in it. And I put a small little video up there that you guys could hear. Because people wanted to know, well, what was wrong with the pump? And unfortunately, it's one of those things where it was just luck of the draw. Got a bad pump. Some things get past QA. Oh no, look at the time. And it's just the way it is. So, EK sent me actually frozen CPU, replaced the pump, and so I've got to switch the top because the only thing wrong with it was the pump. Now, I hear people all the time asking me about, well, is it bad to run your pump dry? I've heard that, if you don't know me, I'm really into water cooling, and I can tell people don't run your pump dry because it's a fluid bearing. That's actually the fluid going through your pump is what lubricates it. Yeah. Anyway, so I can show you firsthand right here. Here's the good pump or the bad pump. Here's the good pump, and this is what it looks like on the inside. And I'm going to do the best I can since I can't really even see my own camera. Let's make it bigger here. Give me a second. Oh, okay, there we go. So this is what a D5 pump actually looks like. Now you can see this part right here on the top. This is the impeller. And if you guys are into this kind of information, this is what my channel is all about. So go over there and subscribe right now if you guys want to know more. So this impeller turns. It brings the water in through the center, and then it basically spits it out the sides, which is where it goes out the output port, which in this case would be on the top, or this plugged off port right there. As the fluid is going through this pump, it is evenly dispersing itself around the bearing. Now listen to what it sounds like if I just take this pump and I turn it by hand. Let's see if the mic can pick it up. Do you hear that?
I can hear that, yeah.
Do you hear that metal on metal sound?
Yeah, it's not good.
That's me turning it just a little bit with my fingers. Watch. Look, I mean, you can see I'm doing like an eighth of a rotation, and you can hear that sound. That's because you have metal on metal bearing in there. If you turn this on with no fluid in there, it's going to shred that bearing and it's going to destroy the pump in like a minute flat, if even that. So that's why you never want to have a pump running dry, ever. Never prime the pump dry. If the fluid level comes down in your reservoir and it even gets near the pump, turn it off, refill your res, keep going. That's how you fill your pump. Here's another example of it being a floating bearing, which I've told you guys. Look at the impeller here. Do you see how I can move that around? Do you see that, Jerry?
Yeah, I do.
That's because it's a floating bearing. It's just sitting in there and it can move around.
Yeah, it's got like a little ceramic dip on the bottom of it that it rests on, right? If you pull it out of there, yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, the problem with this pump was this also has balancing in there because it's a spinning. Anything that spins has to be balanced. Apparently this one's balance was a little off. So all I'm going to do here real quick on this stream is I'm going to just kind of swap out the top here so you guys can see how these pumps come apart. Thought you guys might find that interesting. On the DK pumps, you just have all these little Allen keys that are all the way around, and the little shroud here kind of pulls off. Hopefully you guys can actually see if it's bright enough. Is it bright enough, Jerry? Can you see the pump?
I can actually see the pump. It's a little bit dark, but I can see it.
Yeah, let's do this real quick. I think we can fix that.
I can see it, but it looks very, very contrasty, Jay. Oh, much better.
All right.
There we go. Now we can see. Now it doesn't just look like a block of black. All right, so we're good.
All right, so I'm just going to take off these Allen keys all the way around. And you guys can see the only thing that makes these D5 pumps different from brand to brand is the type of top that they use. I mean, there's different there's different variations of this pump. Pretty much the pump is made by Lang, I believe it is, and it's the same for everybody. This one happens to be a variable speed. The blue wire coming out of it is an RPM wire, so you can,
I actually have an OC Cool pump that actually looks almost identical to that.
OC Cool is actually Alpha Cool, guys, if you're wondering.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, that little symbol stands for Alpha.
Ah.
Alpha Cool. My two pumps are Alpha Cool. They're exactly the same. The only difference is the sticker that's on it.
Now, the nice thing about that pump is mine has run over 2 years now without any major problems.
See, these D5 pumps are actually industrial-grade pumps that have been rebranded for PC use without the mechanism they typically mount in. These are the types of pumps they use on hydraulic or cooling for machinery and stuff. They've just been rebranded for PC use. So as you can see, once we take off the little top, there it is. We can pretty much just push that out of there. It's a tight fit, though, because there's an O-ring. So you want to be careful as you take that out and don't send it flying across the room. There's our pump top. Take off the O-ring. There's our bad pump. And it's got a lot more movement.
So is it just because it just did it wear through the housing or become unbalanced or something? Like how did it actually wear out? Because mine, looking at it, didn't look like there was any part on part like rubbing or anything.
I talked to EK about it, and it's just one of those things where they really don't know.
Interesting.
It could quite honestly be anything. In fact, the new pump already has an O-ring on it, so I'm going to actually, there it is. I'm going to reuse this O-ring already on it. So all I got to do is take the wires.
They're remarkably simple, though. Like, when I opened up my pump just like yours, I was shocked to see that it was basically just like a one-piece impeller and no shafts, nothing like that. It's just magnetism turning it.
That's all it is.
It's really simple.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's really easy for anybody to work on this type of stuff, and I always will, advocate that people build their own stuff because it's so easy. I mean, you can get it kind of sucks to buy, like, the SwiftTech one, which has that really ugly plastic housing that everyone hates, because if you're going to get a new pump top, you paid a few bucks for that plastic housing that you're just going to take off. So you could get these pump tops pre-installed, or you can buy the pump and mount it directly to some reservoirs. Like Alpha Cool has those as well. So does EK, XSPC.
Yeah. Now, does that one have the extra mounting options on it for the pipes too? Like where you can put the pipes in the front or on the top?
It does. You have the inlet, which is in the middle right here on the front. Let's do that. And then you can come out there or out there. Alpha Cool actually adds an extra output right in the middle on the top, which EK does not.
Is there a recommendation as to which one you use to get like maximum flow? Because I'd imagine that they don't flow exactly the same.
Actually, they both are extremely high flow. If you look at the inside there.
Oh, really?
You can see right on through it.
Oh, okay. Oh, they both. Okay, I see. It channels it into the same hole. It just depends on whether it comes out the top or the. Okay, no, I get it.
Right.
I was thinking something completely different.
Yeah. So yeah, there it is. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? You think we should keep going with like kind of doing a little tech segment each week just for a couple of minutes to teach you something? I like the idea.
Yeah,
like
let us know if you guys like stuff like that. We always have broken shit laying around that needs fixing. I mean, I've got a soldering iron and a hot glue gun. Let's do this, Jay.
It's like Mr. Wizard for PC.
It is totally. It completely is. So the next topic that we want to talk about is a lot of people have been asking about how to choose the right headphones, and Jay and I have actually both talked about this also because there's a lot more there's a lot more factors into it than just buying a pair of headphones. Like for example, if I was to go buy a pair of was it HE500s, my really high end, probably $600-700 pair of headphones, and I plug them into my sound card on my computer, they sound like absolute garbage. Like literally a $20 pair of headphones will be louder and sound better. And some people just didn't really get this, and it has to do with the power handling of the phone or the resistance, right? How many ohm your headphones are. So you want to make sure that if you're using a sound card like on a computer, you want to make sure that you're using relatively low powered headphones. So you want to look at the power rating on the headphones. Lower resistance is going to be louder with the same amount of power. When I'm using my amplifiers that I have, like my desktop amplifiers, and I plug in, like, say, these right here. I haven't tried them yet with the amplifier, but, these are relatively, they're medium of the road power, right, Jay? Would you say, what are they, 150 ohm?
They're 150 ohm, yeah.
So 150 ohms still pretty high.
They're a lot more power needed than your typical gaming headset, but it's enough to where I don't have a powered headphone output on my sound card, so the audio levels significantly suffer, and so does the clarity.
Yeah, so to drive something like this like really good, you want to make sure that you have a really good sound card that can actually push quite a bit of power to them. Now, some people say that you have to have a dedicated amplifier. Well, you don't actually. There's a lot of sound cards like, what is it, the Zonar STX, for instance. The Essence STX has a very high-powered headphone amplifier integrated into it. So just make sure that you either have a high-powered headphone amp or use an external amp. You can actually go buy a headphone amp that literally will just take the signal from your computer and then just amp it up.
Yep.
And so the one I use, actually, I use two of them. I have a Woo Audio WA7 Fireflies amplifier, and I have an Objective 2 amplifier from Mayflower Electronics, and that's my preferred amp.
Mine should be here tomorrow.
Oh, you're going to get one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's this guy right here, if you guys wanted to see it. Sitting right there. The top piece here, this is the DAC, which is basically a sound card, but you don't need that part. You can literally just get this, the amplifier, run it from your computer's audio out into this, and then you connect your headphones right there, and you can increase the power on that, and then you can run some pretty heavy headphones. I actually run my HE500s and my HD800s off that, and one of those, I think the HE500s are 600 ohm. I mean, they are a beefcake headphone. They're planar magnetic. They don't use conventional drivers, so they need a lot of power. And that amp actually handles them really cool and can run them at very high volumes. So if you guys haven't tried a headphone amplifier before, I urge you to try it, regardless of what type of headphones you're going to get. But realize higher power handling headphones generally give you crisper, cleaner sound and a better overall sound stage when you have a lot of stuff going on, because the speaker can just move so much faster and pull back to center so much quicker.
Right. And it's not even going to be necessarily volume related either.
Yeah, it's not well, volume has a little bit to do with it, but you can get low powering handling headphones that put out a lot of volume, but it's the clarity, it's the crispness of that sound. Like bass is a really good example. Like if you ever wore like a pair of like Beats headphones, like Beats by Dre, you get this really deep bass, but the problem is it's a very loose bass. It almost sounds like, when you had like in your car, you have like a 15-inch subwoofer hitting. It's like, it sounds cool, but it's overbearing and it takes everything out. Well, on a really high power handling headphone like my HE500s, you can have mid and tweet going on, and you can have that really heavy bass, but it's very, very tight and it's isolated. You don't hear it just taking everything else over. It can reproduce all those sounds at the same time. So my best advice to you is don't blindly buy headphones. That's what I do, and it costs a lot of money, and you end up with a big pile of headphones. But go try them out. Go to a store and actually try them out. Go to like one of the big box guys like Magnolia Hi-Fi or Best Buy or whatever, anywhere where they have a headphone display. Try them out and kind of get a feel for them, and make sure that you either have a headphone amplifier or that you're testing the headphones with a similar device as to what you have at the store, because you might get disappointed. You might go buy a pair of headphones, get it home, plug it into your computer, and be like, these don't sound nearly as good as they did at the store. Well, that's because at the store behind the counter, they probably had like a Harman Kardon amplifier or something like that connected to it to give them their best possible sound that they could have.
They are certainly not created equal.
Yeah, same thing happened to me when I bought a pair of Bose Triport headphones once. Very low power handling, so they can be driven by an iPhone and a tablet, and they sound good. But when I tried them in the store, they had them connected to like a $10,000 headphone amplifier. In DAC, and it was like this, and I put them on my head, and I was like, oh my god, this sounds ridiculous. And then I got it home and I plugged it into all my mobile electronics, and I was like, man, this sounds not as cool.
Well, you remember what I told you about my trip to CES was I saw the HD800s, and I was like, okay, this might be the only opportunity I get to actually listen to these things, because you're always talking about them, right?
Yeah.
And I listened to them, and I'm going, wow, these do sound good, but I'm thinking to myself, well, okay, they sound good, but what am I missing here? Turns out they were hooked up to a $40,000 amplifier, amplifier. But
that's the thing. If you have HD800s, the whole point is if you're going to buy $1,500 headphones, then you probably got a pretty good amp. I'd hope you do. I don't even have an amp push that. What?
My question was that Sennheiser's statement of saying, like, in order to get the full potential of these, you have to have them hooked up to something like that. Aren't you somewhat agreeing?
I am. Now, here's the thing, though, is and Logan will fight me on this all day long, because Logan, he from Tech Syndicate, he doesn't believe in the whole headphone amp garbage.
Yeah, he does to an extent. He has his own branded Mayflower panel. But,
yeah, to be realistic and to be fair to it, if you have a very high quality audio source, like if you're just playing 128 kilobits per second MP3s. It doesn't matter if you have a $20,000 amp. They're still going to sound like shit. And to be honest, in many cases, they'll even sound more like shit because it'll expose all those little audio artifacts that you normally wouldn't hear. But if you're listening to a very good, clean audio source, like, something that's like 360 kilobits per second, or even raw or FLAC or something like that, and you actually have a DAC that can drive that signal, and you have an amplifier that can properly amplify that to high output without adding any noise to it, the end result is an HD800 will shine. You can definitely tell the difference between the HD800 and a lesser headphone. But if you're just plugging them into your sound card, you're not going to be able to tell any difference really between either of them, other than they're both going to sound like shit, right? So you definitely want to match up all your equipment. Don't go buy a really expensive pair of headphones expecting it to sound good if you have shitty audio hardware. And don't go buy a $20,000 amp to drive a $150 pair of headphones, because all it's going to do is they're going to catch fire and like burn your head.
Don't even buy them to drive a $1,500 pair of headphones.
That's true.
That's the way I feel about it, anyway.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So hopefully that helps you guys out with your headphone buying decisions. But me personally, the two biggest go-to brands that I've had really good success with is the AKGs. Even though I've only used one pair of them, the 612s are phenomenal. They're probably one of my favorite pairs of headphones right now. I'm still reviewing these guys, so they're still on the fence until I get the review out. But which is funny because they're only like, I think, a $250 pair or something like that. But then you have
Zeros.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the AKGs that I bought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they're like a $250 pair. I got them from Mass Drop back when they were having a deal. But they were remarkably comfortable. They sound absolutely beautiful. But the HD800s just have a sound that I've never heard from anything else. But you have to have it plugged into a good amplifier. If you don't, you just miss out on that whole thing.
Yeah. I like how people are saying Jay looks stoned. No, I actually get to look at the comments every now and then. I'm reading people. I'm concentrating.
He's not stoned. He's from California.
I don't have my crack pipe today.
Yeah, what'd you do with your crack pipe? Somebody steal it?
No, I think I vacuumed it up.
Now the next topic here was one that I was actually thinking about skipping, but we're gonna have to tiptoe on this one, Jay, because I got a funny story behind it. But
things do and don't talk about.
Things not to talk about on YouTube. I learned that today. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that not to talk about, but just expect to get blasted if you do. And that is guns, religion, sexual preference, or race. Those seem to be the four really, really hot things that, if you take a stance on the internet or you have an opinion on that's contrary to anybody else's, no matter what other good you do, no matter how many other things you've done, that all instantly gets invalidated.
So you mean that topic we had about the gay Jewish black guy wielding a gun at church is out?
Yeah, that's out. You can't talk about that because the subscriber count will go to 0 and a guy will come to your house and murder you. But the reason why I'm saying this is I recently did a YouTube video where all I did was 3D print an AR-15 lower, which is basically not a functional gun. It's just a piece.
And you knew that response was coming. By the way,
I knew there was. I knew it. I knew it. And I'll be honest. There was way more positive response than negative response. But there was negative response, and I was getting mails from people where they were saying, "Oh my God, Barnacules, I can't believe that you're pro-gun. I was sure that you weren't, and I'm unsubscribing right now. I can't believe that you'd support something that's an instrument of death that killed and harmed so many people." And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, there's these people that are so hardcore about it. I'm one of those people where I believe everybody's allowed to have their opinion. I completely, if you can be whatever you want. I don't care. I don't even care if you hate guns. What's that, Jay?
I actually meant to have my handguns with me for this segment so I could be wielding them around during the whole segment.
Yeah, I know. Should I just sit here with my airsoft gun that looks real and just be like, guys, it's just guns? What's that? It's just guns? Somebody's probably going to meme that now. Oh, it's just guns.
You know, but they talk about it. Those people who argue about it being an instrument of death and whatnot. You know, statistically in history speaking, blunt objects and sharpened stones and metal have killed more people in history than guns.
It's absolutely true. But the thing, this is the part that really bugs me, is when I hear these people talking, I immediately hear in the back of my head that they're motivated by the media, right? They've been very, very sensitive to things that have happened in the media.
Think for themselves in most parts.
You know, I'm not even going to go that far. They're allowed to hate guns. My wife hates guns. A lot of people don't realize that, but my wife hates guns. I keep them locked up in a gun safe. She doesn't like them around her. She doesn't like to shoot them. She hates loud noises. But she does understand why I have them. And that's all I'm asking. I wish that when I released that video that people would be like, you know what, I don't like guns, but I respect it if you do. That's fine. Just like if you have a different religion than me, for instance, I don't care. That's fine. Let's be friends. Let's go have fun. I'm not. But when you come at me and you're like, your videos are awesome and you've done a really good job and I really love and you've inspired me to do so many things. Then I released one video where I'm like, I 3D printed something that didn't even work. I told people why it didn't work, and it was a very educational video, and you come at me and tell me that I'm a bad role model, a POS, and you're going to unsubscribe from me, and that I need to change. All because of one thing. So I was giving it some thought today, and I was like, those are the things that I noticed that are the trend when you watch videos on YouTube. Is people that talk about guns, doesn't matter how they're talking about guns, they can even talk about using guns for good and proper training and things like that. Doesn't matter. There's these people that just run around that are just, if you have any affiliation with guns in any kind of positive nature, they're whatever you did is undone. You're gone. Piss off. And so that caught me a little off guard, I'll be honest. I expected people to come at me and be like, oh my god, you printed a gun, oh that's stupid, this is the dumbest video ever, you know, unsub or downvote. But to come at me and tell me that I'm a bad role model and that they're basically, they thought I was awesome and they looked up to me, but now because of just one thing they found out about me, they now hate me. I don't get that. That's really, really strange. But, you know, of course it applies to the same thing. There's some religious people out there that, you know, you walk up to them and you tell them, you know, hey, I'm Muslim. No, you're ruining the entire country, blah, 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 and they'll come at you for it, and it's like, no, absolutely not.
You heard it right here in TechTalk, guys. Jerry is Muslim.
I am. Active practicing. Actually, not really, but I'm not atheist either. That's the thing is a lot of people think if you're not religious that you're atheist. No, I'm a when you die-aist. That's my religious. When you die-aist. When I die, I'll find out.
Isn't atheist when you don't believe in a god, but agnostic is when you don't practice a religion?
Yeah, agnostic is when you don't practice a religion. You believe there could be a god, but you also accept that there could not be a god. See, right. CJ, you're luring me into talking about it, and everybody's going to be like, oh my god, you believe that it's possible that one way or the other? No. You know, and there's people that are just like that. So I don't want to stay on this topic too long, but I just wanted to point that out because the gun video really kind of opened my eyes to that there are a lot of people out there that they could love you for everything that you do, and just because you disagree with them on one thing, and it wasn't even like a harsh disagreement on any sense. I'm like, I respect, if you don't like guns, tell me. Come and tell me I hate guns, I think they're weapons of destruction, this just isn't my thing. That's fine, but don't come at me and tell me I'm a bad role model and a piece of shit father, and I deserve to die just because I happen to own a gun. I'll never get that.
The irony about the entire situation is the fact that for years, as long as you've had those printers, people were, Jerry, print a gun, Jerry, print a gun, Jerry, print a gun. Jerry, how dare you print a gun?
Well, here's the no, actually it's not that ironic because the video itself has, I think, 1,500 likes, which is more than double the like ratio I get on any other video, but it also has double the dislike ratio. Also, these are in the minority, guys. I mean, we're talking, you know, 50, 60 people out of maybe like 10,000. But it's just weird to see them take such a harsh stance. It's like they're not even willing to discuss it. They're not even willing to entertain the idea that I'm a responsible gun owner. They're just immediately, nope, screw you. I never want to have anything to do with you ever again just because you made a video showing that you like something that I don't. And I'm glad that the majority aren't like that. Yeah, I'm glad the majority aren't like that, right? We have 726 people in here that are still here after having that conversation. Those are all open-minded individuals that may believe what they want, but respect other people's to believe, you know, other people to believe what they want. And I respect that. I love you guys. I love all.
MGP Jerry.
What?
Jared. MGP Jared says you're a bad role model because you own a gun. Didn't somebody actually say that?
Yeah, they did. They did. Somebody left like a 2-page thing on my Facebook that was like you're you know, I have to disagree with you after making this video. You're a bad role model. You need to realize that, you know, people look up to you and what you do, whether you like it or not. And you liking guns is a really bad influence. And basically, he went on and on about how somehow it's going to lead to violence, and somehow I'm helping the problem of people pain and suffering and death and all that. And my response to him was like, well, you know, okay, so guns kill people. Well, so does water. I mean, people used to make people walk the plank, and they'd swim until they drowned, right?
There was a story. There was a story around here once where I guess there was like a dog attacking somebody, and a neighbor came out and shot and killed the dog, and there was like this huge protest against the neighbor for killing the dog.
Yeah, yeah. Or like airplanes, like, right? Who's protesting airplanes? I'm sure they're out there. I'm probably like completely misrepresenting this, but yeah. So airplanes can take down buildings. All right, you know, some assholes proved that. But that doesn't mean that that's what they're designed for. Yes, guns are designed for killing. I will not argue that point. But they're usually designed for killing animals that you eat. Om nom nom. Sorry, guys, I like to eat animals too, so I'm sure all the hardcore vegetarians now are going to run away.
Probably.
Probably. Anyways, so you can't talk about, wait, what would that fall under? Food? You can't talk about food?
No, we can't talk about food because now you'll start talking about the fat comments, and people will then want to start judging you and telling you how to live your life because you're overweight.
But anyways, I'm going to wrap this up so we can move on to a technology topic. But guys, I just want to let you know that just because you don't agree with something I do doesn't mean you have to run away. Stick around, stand your ground, tell me what you think about something. Don't watch that video, even hit dislike if you don't like it. But it doesn't mean you have to unsub, call me a bad role model, and run away.
Yes, you do.
Unless you're really a dick. If you're really a dick and you honestly face life like that and you won't accept anybody that isn't 100% like yourself, then get out. Leave. I don't want you on my channel.
I'll take you guys. Go ahead and sub over. No,
go to Jay. Actually, over there. Go to Jay. He will take care of you.
You won't like me either because you'll see where I'm already teaching my kid to shoot.
Yeah.
She's 5.
You know what the difference is? The difference is that I actually had a courage to make the video to show people what I believe and how I feel about something. You know, yeah. I'm sure you're watching 10 other people that you're like, oh man, I really agree with that guy, but he's just not making videos about how he does crack in his spare time and, you know, likes to murder people in alleys. So you're like...
You got to go down to the crack comments.
You got to go to the crack comments because Jay knows how to make a wicked acrylic crack pipe for $4.99 on eBay. Get it now.
It's only good for a couple smokes, though.
I know, right? And you'll probably die of what is it? I'm sure that's probably worse than the crack, right? Breathing in the acrylic.
Like plastic toxic inhalation.
Oh my god. Oh, the next topic. This one was hilarious. I love this one. I'm sorry, I forgot who gave it to me on Twitter. You can shout yourself out if you're the one. But ISPs are getting ready to start sending educational letters to pirates. And this makes me laugh because actually in the United States a lot of ISPs have been doing this for a very long time where, you know, you'll get an email or something that's like, oh, Time Warner contacted us and said that you were torrenting something from here, blah blah blah, cease and desist immediately. You know, you get those, but now they're talking about actually sending out educational letters that are like, remember that old don't copy that floppy PSA? I mean, it's like the email equivalent of that. They want to start sending people emails that are like, oh, we suspect, and it's not even no, it's suspect. We suspect that you might be pirating, so here, let's give you a lesson on what you're doing. Pirates know what they do. The pirates know they're stealing. They know they're taking something. They have their own reasons, whether it be malicious or they're poor, you know, or they can't afford it. I mean, I'll play devil's advocate to both sides of this argument. But at the end of the day, I just thought it was really funny that that they actually think that this is going to help. Like, if I send you a letter, you went and used BitTorrent or Usenet or one of these, what is it, Tor, or any of those methods to go obtain something illegally. I mean, are you going to laugh when you read that letter? Like, I'm going to send you a letter, and it's going to be like, Dear so-and-so, we detected that you downloaded a movie of a questionable nature that was copyrighted by a questionable company in Van Nuys, California. We would like to let you know that that was illegal what you did, and it was wrong, and, you know, you hurt Ron Jeremy by doing this. So please cease and desist, and don't ever do it again. I mean, would you...
I don't torrent really, so I've never gotten any of those letters. But I have gotten back when I used to jailbreak my iPhone before, you know, Verizon offered you know, the hotspot.
Yeah, like back in the Cydia days.
Yeah, yeah. So I did get a letter once like, we believe that you are hotspotting, and if you don't stop, we're going to automatically add it for $30 a month.
and that's funny. That's what most ISPs do. Like, because I have friends that they send me some funny letters. I had one where it was it Time Warner? I don't even know who gets their service, but it was like Time Warner Internet. It's like, oh, we detected
Time Warner.
Oh, do you? Okay, I don't have Time Warner, but apparently,
so
have you checked your email account lately? Like your actual Time Warner email account?
Oh God, I don't think that email even exists anymore.
That's like the one that they apparently send the mail to. Like so 90% of you guys are probably getting letters and don't even receive it. But if you go check your old ISP mailbox, there's probably like dozens of letters in there. Whether you did it or not, it doesn't even matter because they're like sweeps and suspicion and everything. But it's like, oh, we suspect that you're doing something wrong. You better stop, or we're going to charge you $20 to turn your internet back on. It's always some monetary threat.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny that they're actually like, we're going to send out educational letters. Like, I don't see that helping. I really don't. I don't think that you're going to... The only thing I could think of is that just the fact that they think that you might be onto them might make them back off. Like, like if you get a letter, you know, and you're a really scared, you know, paranoid kind of person, it's like, oh my God, you downloaded an MP3 you didn't know, and you might be like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, and stop doing it. Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
I want to clarify something in chat real quick. Somebody said up here... something along the lines of like, I think Jay is gay, but that's okay, blah, 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 right? And I replied back with, my wife and daughter are okay with me being gay. And so now people are like, "What are you talking about?" I was responding to somebody up there, guy.
Yeah, Jay actually is a little gay. He already told me if I came down there that I could actually sleep with him in his bed and we would spoon all night long. I think that's the exact words he used.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's dude, it's as long as we say no homo, it's fine.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Ask Canadian Colonel. He's probably in chat. He probably has no problem with that.
Why do you have to hate on gay people?
I'm not hating on gay, Jay. Don't you twist my words, you son of a bitch.
I'm not twisting them.
I love gay people. I love gay people. I like transsexual people. I like people that don't have genitalia. I like people that have 2 sets of genitalia. If there's anybody out there that actually has 3 boobs, that's probably pretty cool too. You know, like the whole Total Recall thing. If that's a reality, I really like you.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to do with the 3rd one though. I only have 2 hands.
Oh, Digital Storm's in here. Check it out. Remember Digital Storm?
But are you sure that's actually Digital Storm?
I'm not positive it's Digital Storm, but they are talking about motherboards, and we are gearing up to do a motherboard giveaway. So I am going to mouse over them, and yep, 34K, it's them. Digital Storm's in the house. Hey guys, we're going to be doing a giveaway between me and Digital Storm. I'll be releasing a video tomorrow night, but it will be a motherboard. And now I just realized he probably put that comment in there, so I'd do that. Damn you, Digital Storm! You're so smart and crafty.
I was going to say I would have to have questioned his logic if he's asking if you'd go to Z97 when you're currently on an X79 platform, because that made me question whether or not it was really Digital Storm just by that question.
It's probably because it's just the newer platform, and you need to stop being like older platforms better, Jay. Just because you can't overclock it doesn't mean it isn't awesome, okay? It uses less power, and it's awesome.
Do you even PC, bro?
I do.
I'm starting to wonder now.
Dude, I'm PCing right now. Do you even PCP, bro? See what I did?
No,
there?
I don't do drugs.
You don't do drugs are bad, actually. They really are.
Yeah, drugs are bad. Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Where's my drugs? I'm okay. Somewhere around here I have a bottle of drugs. For all you guys that don't know, I actually take ADHD medication, which is basically the same stuff Walter White made on Breaking Bad. But it was prescribed, so it's okay. The cops don't tase me when they see it. Oh, that actually brings up something funny. Hey, Jay, sorry, I'm going 100 miles an hour here. Everybody's probably like, oh my God, stop walking on Jay. I'm sorry. I
walk on you every week. It's fair.
It's just I'm the host now, so I get to do the stomping tonight, apparently. But no, the funny story was I remember seeing a Twitter thread or something where a certain somebody I won't name was like, doing his usual shit, trashing on people for in the gaming scene. And one of them was like, one of the things that was starting was this big thread about how this gamer is taking Adderall. And it's a performance-enhancing drug, and some. And I was just cracking up with this. I'm like, if you have ADHD, you take Adderall. It's what you do. It makes you calmer. It makes you normal. It makes you able to function. How the hell are you going to call performance-enhancing drug on that? Other than the fact that it probably does enhance your performance. I mean, I guess I can't. So I guess I kind of shot down my point.
I guess it makes everything around you just seem a lot slower.
If you have ADHD. If you don't have ADHD, then it just makes you instant crackhead. I actually have to take it to sleep sometimes too. Like I'll take like half of my normal dose, just so I can go to sleep, because my brain just gets stuck in this really fast pattern where it won't slow down, and then I take that, and like a half an hour later I start getting tired. But yeah, you give it to anybody else and they're just like 100 miles an hour. It's really weird how stimulants work that way, how they can have completely opposite effects on different people. Very bizarre. You said effects.
Did you look at the meme? You got a meme.
Oh, did I? Hold on here. I got to see the meme. Meme.
Come on, guys. It's just guns.
Wow, 23 notifications I haven't seen yet. Let's see. Oh, my God. Put the camera up there.
I retweeted that.
Come on, guys. It's just guns. Oh my God, I love the memes. The memes are one of the funnest parts about doing a live stream. Is just afterwards seeing all the crazy, clever, creative stuff people come up with.
I know, right?
Oh my God! And just to answer everybody in chat, the video feed is delayed for like a minute, so the stuff that you guys are talking about in the stream, I mean, like literally happened like a minute ago for us. So there's like this little temporal delay. Thanks YouTube, but there's not really anything we can do about it. Let's see. Oh, hey, we're gonna walk right into this. Why is Haswell better or worse than the previous generation, Jay? Why is that? Since we're gonna get onto this,
I think that's entirely subjective because it's a.
Yeah, pick my nose here for you guys.
It's a redesign of the die, so it's better in some ways, but it's also worse in some ways because it's a new architecture, so it has to mature all over again. Like Ivy Bridge was a maturity of Sandy Bridge, and Sandy Bridge was the new platform over the 900 and 700 series.
True.
So Haswell has its problems, in my opinion, because they moved the memory controller to be internal on the die. The iGPU and the way that the power delivery happens is inside the die a little differently than it was on Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge. So overclocking initially in the beginning was just shit, which is what I said it was going to be, which is why I stayed on Ivy Bridge when Haswell launched.
That's what I've heard too. The overclocking's like, it's not out of the question, it's just you're not going to hit the marks like you were with Ivy.
Absolutely. So now we're a year later, things have matured, and that's why I don't know if it's going to be this motherboard yet. I haven't decided. This is the EVGA Z97 classified board. It's actually only the third one in the United States so far, and I'm not going to be keeping it because they sent me like a super secret test sample, I guess, that I wasn't supposed to get. It actually has features on it that are not going to be in the retail version. It has extra stuff on that board, so they were like, well, you could keep it if you want, but I don't know if I will.
Why do companies do that? I had the same thing happen to me. Cooler Master sent me something. They're like, whoops, that was like our fancy Office like display demo model that never went out. It's like, okay, guys.
Yeah, this one was incredibly different to the point to where I couldn't even actually. I mean, it's installed right now inside the SMA 8, but I don't know. Next week they're supposed to send me a full retail sample, but I don't want to keep this one only because now that I know that they have made changes to the retail sample, I can't do a proper review on this if it's not the same one you guys are going to get.
No, and that's exactly the point. Is you're going to do a review on it, like everybody, because I reviewed the keyboard they sent me, and in the defense, it was the keyboard that you could buy. It just had a different cover on it, but everybody was like, "Man, that cover is really cool, and it's got a signature from like a pro gamer on it. That's awesome." And I found out, yeah, they don't actually sell that. That was like they must have just been there and been like, hey, go send Jerry a keyboard, and they like ripped it off Steve's desk or something and threw it in a box.
I've been to that office. It actually sits on display in the entrance.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. So they sent me that one.
Yeah, there's like a whole side of the entrance that has like neon lights and stuff that's all dedicated to that StarCraft gamer.
Yep.
And that is usually sitting on an acrylic display with lights on it and everything. So somebody literally had to go there and be like, yoink, we're going to mail this to Jerry.
And the best part is they finally sent me mail after watching the video. And they're like, oh, crap, we sent you the wrong one. Here, we'll send you the right one, and then you can just put that back in the box and mail it back to us. That was months ago? I think they just forgot. So
I know, right?
I still got it. I still got that awesome keyboard. It's one-off.
You should probably sell it. That signature, someone will pay for it.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Okay, we're going to have to do that now, Jerry.
So anyway, why do I have the Z97 stuff? I've got more Z97 boards coming from other manufacturers, so I have options. But I am going to be moving off of my Z77 platform to Z97, and I'll be putting a 4770K in the meantime until the 4790Ks are launched, because Z97 has the upgrade path to Broadwell. For all of you people who were like, no, you're stupid, you should have gone with Z87, blah, 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 blah. And all the people who talked crap to me when I was like, I'm staying on Z77 so I can save some money because Z87 is not going to get the next generation upgrade like people seem to think it's going to. It'll get the Haswell refresh, which is the Devil's Canyon and when the new K SKUs come out. But guess what? If you want to use Broadwell next year, you have to have a Z97 or whatever the current motherboard's going to be for that generation. So, all of you told me I was stupid. Joke is on you, because now I'm going to Z97 and I have an upgrade path. Z87 is stuck to Haswell only, will not be Broadwell compatible.
Aww. So what you're saying is it's probably a good idea that I waited and I didn't do like a big upgrade to Haswell recently.
No, because you would not have upgraded if you went to Haswell. You would have downgraded, dude. You've got a Core 12-thread X79 platform.
That's true, and I'm running 4.6 on each. I saw Logan tweeted today that his proc that was hitting, I think it was 4.9 or something. He said it died. I was like, yeah, I guess you're pushing a little too hard there, bud.
It's possible.
Yeah, I remember when I first got mine, I ran it at 5.2 for like an hour, and I was like, oh my god, I got the chosen processor, and then it stopped working. And then I had to up the voltage like way more to get it back to 4. Like it was running on lower voltage stable at 4.6 than I had to after that.
You probably killed a couple transistors.
I did.
A few million, I should say.
I heard it, Jay. I heard it.
Well, my Z77, my 3770K is degraded slightly. I've had to bump up like 0.2 more volts to it, so now I'm pushing 1.35 volts. When in the beginning I could get 4.9 or 4.8 at 1.2 volts, which was like glorious.
Yeah, I think right now I'm literally to hold stable at 4.6 24/7. I think I'm at 1.42 V-core, way in the red.
Yeah, but still, that's not too bad for platform. for your Sandy Bridge E.
According to the BIOS, it's in like the holy shit region. Like it's like, you know, it does the little green and then the yellow, and then it's like deep into the, oh my god, you're just about to head into like you need liquid nitrogen territory.
Yeah.
It works fine though.
So yeah, Haswell, better or worse than previous generations. It's a redesign, guys. So it has its benefits and it has its downsides. If you're an avid overclocker like me, you stayed away from it, and I stayed away plenty long. And I have seen that the overclocking on Haswell has improved over time, because just like I said a year ago, in 2 weeks it'll be a year I made the video where I said why I skipped Haswell and stayed on Ivy, was because I knew things would get refined and would get better, and they have. I've seen overclocking start requiring less voltage, and you can get higher speeds now on the new refined process.
And thank you for convincing me.
And I hope that the next K SKU, which is supposed to be dubbed like the 4790K, is going to be better. I hope so. And the thing and the reason why I want it, to be honest with you, is because they finally listened to the consumers, and Intel got tired of being trashed by all of the reviewers saying stop using crappy thermal compound inside your internal heat spreader and go back to soldering, which they're doing. Yeah. So they're going to start soldering that heat spreader back on for much better heat transfer.
No, I think that's a huge part, because people were trying to take their processors apart and stuff and like do their own little solutions.
Yeah, you're talking about delidding, and plenty of people did it, and quite a few people. You know, typically if you damaged your processor by delidding, you didn't actually kill the processor. You may have killed some memory lanes, or you may have made some of your some features inside the processor stop working. But very rarely did I see anybody completely and utterly destroy it to where it didn't work anymore.
Yeah, I know 2 people that killed the damn thing, like dead, like wouldn't even post. I don't know what the hell they did to do it, but probably jamming the blade in the side and probably like slipping and going like shaving the top of the CPU off.
Well, that's why the best method, believe it or not, was the vise, where you take a hammer and a vise to it.
Oh crap! I didn't even see that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you take the spreader, you flip it upside down, you tighten it in a vise just enough. You take a block of wood, you put it against the actual PCB, you put something soft behind it. You take the mallet and you go, boop, and it just pops right off.
Oh, that's cool. I would never think to do that. That would I'd seriously be sweating bullets.
It's actually safer to do that than to take the razor blade.
So I want to do 2 more quick things here before we shut the stream down to polish off Tech Talk 40, and that is one, a question I got asked to both of us on Twitter today, and that was, what was your first piece of tech? And I kind of took that as like electronic technology, right? So like what was your first piece of technology? And I wouldn't say like your first piece of technology, but what was your first piece of technology that you got that was like noteworthy? Like that was like, oh my god, the future is here kind of thing.
Commodore 64.
Oh, you actually had a C64, huh?
Yeah, and a C128.
Damn, dude. All right, so you got an early start. I would have to say for me now before you had those though, did you have any gaming systems before that, like the Atari or anything like that?
My dad was anti-Atari, but we had an Intellivision.
Honestly, the Intellivision was pretty badass. I had a friend that had one.
I didn't care much for the dial controller. The dial was kind of weird, and the buttons wore out. The membranes wore out really fast.
Yeah, but Zaxxon was cool, though. Did you have Zaxxon?
Oh, yeah, I had Zaxxon.
That was, like, the best game ever. Like, I'd look at pole position on the Atari, and I'd be like, God, these graphics suck. And Zaxxon was, like, all 3D back in the day. I'm surprised it didn't win that war. That's just crazy. But, yeah, for me, it would have been the Atari 2600. I remember my parents got it for me when I was a kid from KB Toys, and they brought it home. And huh?
KB Toys alone just dated us.
I know, right? I came home from, and when they bought it, I think KB Toys was only open for a few months too, and they were around for years. But they got an Atari 2600, one controller, and it had came with pole position and pitfall or something like that. And I remember I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. My parents like couldn't pull me off the thing. It was like it changed my entire outlook on technology from there on out. But my first actual computer, where you got a C64. My first real computer that I owned was a LaserPal 286 12 megahertz from Sears.
You know, if I had to say what my first actual PC was, it was an XT. But the Commodore 64 was where I first started. Like, it was my own. You know.
You had an XT?
I had an XT, black screen, green font, the whole deal.
Wow, dude, your camera just zoomed in again.
I saw that. It just went like...
It was like, dun, dun, dun!
That was really...
It actually looks kind of good. You can just leave it like that. I think it looks good.
Now your camera was like, what?
Jay's like, my head's smaller than Jerry's. I'll fix that right now.
Fine, I'll keep it like this. What the hell? People were calling me a Case Labs snob. Guys, I love my case. What can I say? If you don't like it, Good for you.
Honestly, Case Labs cases are amazing. I've had the same one for 3 years. I'd probably never buy another case unless I was doing. If I was doing another build and I didn't want to spend $700 on a case, I might use a different one. But if you want to build the best, honestly, I haven't found anything better than Case Labs. And Case Labs doesn't support me. They've never given anything to me for free, and I even gave them I think it was $800 for this case that I'm running right now. So, everybody always assumes that when I say something's cool that it was given to me for free. Not true at all. Not true.
Case Labs did give me this case, okay? But you got to understand, they were not interested in giving me this case until they saw what I did with Red Mist. Then they were like, "Hey, do you want to do something for you?" You don't say no to that. And it's not even a sellout thing. It's if they had approached me in the past, I might have been like, "Well, I don't know, we'll see." But I've fallen in love with the SMAA, and there's lots of Case Labs cases, guys, that I don't like. I do not like Jerry's case because I don't like double wide. I don't like the cube look of it.
Hey, you just shut your mouth, Jay. Just shut your mouth.
And that's what Case Labs was known for the longest time. They started with the cubes and the tall STH-10 server rack type cases. And I was never a fan of that. But once they kind of shrunk them down into a more, normal size like this, and I call it normal even though it's a behemoth. It is shorter than my 900D though, believe it or not, slightly. I started to fall in love with it, and seeing the amount of room I had to do with what I wanted inside Red Mist, I just kept sitting here at night, staring at Red Mist, going, "There's so much I could do with this," and I really wanted to do my own build. And when it was offered to me, absolutely, am I going to say yes? I would do that.
I can't wait to see it actually. And the thing is, a lot of people they think that a company doesn't just want to give you free stuff. They're not like, "Oh my God, you're a big YouTuber, here, have something for free." No, it's they see what you're doing and they're like, "Wow, we want to be a part of that." That's the biggest compliment ever. What?
The stream actually froze. I don't know if you know that or not.
It says it froze, but I still haven't dropped a single frame, so it's got to be on YouTube's side. I'm still streaming to YouTube, no problem.
Yeah, it's got to be on YouTube's side because it's still going.
All right, well, I think, let's see, we're at 7:29, so that's perfect timing to wrap up the stream.
I'm just typing in there.
Tell them, "Oh my God." I'm sure this will probably show up in the recorded version, though, because they still are receiving all of my data.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's probably a perfect time to go. So
yep, 7:30. Yep.
Now I can't tell everyone, "Go subscribe to me and make me feel better."
No, you can still tell them, but then they'll just have to see it when they watch it tomorrow. A lot of people couldn't watch this live.
Nobody watches the replays.
No, they will. They will. They will. My hardcore guys will. Yeah. So say it, Jay. Say it. Say it.
If you like the computer shit, go sub my channel. If you like it, yay.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a fun time. This is my first time hosting Tech Talk Forte. That's like.
Is it a forte or 40?
It's a forte, Jay. A forte. And hopefully I'll be hosting again. Jay and I will kind of go back and forth and everything. And hopefully you guys that are watching this on the recorded stream are not going to see this cut off at the end. If you're not, please leave down in the comments if you can see this. That would be very, very helpful to me. And let's see. Until next time, right, Jay?
Until next time, play that outro.
I don't have the outro. I have the intro. Do I play the intro as the outro?
You just click it again.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh, now we're back. Yay!
Oh, well, we're ending it.